Hi guys, it's Mike from Final Form Freaks, and today I'm bringing you a quick deck profile. Now, the leader that I'm going to show off is Android 18. Now, I have made multiple versions of an Android 18 deck. This one I think is a lot better than the ones I have been using. I did use one with the cell chain in it, and that was okay. It wasn't amazing. It was a very slow deck, but this one I'm kind of happy with. We'll go into the leader and then we'll go into the deck. So Android 18, when you place this card in your lead area, you choose one Android 21 scheme from your deck and activate it. She has an activate main once per turn, which is you get to choose one clone token in your opponent's battle area, remove it from the game, you get to draw a card, and then you get to choose one card from your life and add it to your hand, and then you choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards, an energy of 1, and return it to its own hand, which is pretty good. Her awaken is if you're at 4 or less life, you may draw 2 cards and flip this card over. So you have the dependable sister Android 18. When this card attacks, you get to draw a card, which is nice. Activate main once per turn, you choose one clone token in your opponent's battle area, you remove it from the game, then you get to choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards with an energy of 1, return it to its owner's hand, then reduce the combo cost of all blue and green cards in your hand and battle area for the duration of the turn, which is pretty cool actually. It all depends on what build you do. I hope you like this build. So we'll start off with the card that you generally start off with. Let's see if it gets in focus. It's better. Android 21 scheme, you start with this. It's a field card. Once per turn, when you or your opponent play a non-token battle card, it can't attack for the duration of turn. I have made so many mistakes with this, with having games and forgetting about its first auto. I know a few people who play Android 18 have forgot about it as well. It is a really good effect. It kind of stalls the game in a sense, depending on what your opponent plays. The second auto is when you play a black battle card, you place it in its owner's drop area, so you place this in it. So yeah, you can't use any black. You could, depending on if you're trying to go for game or something, you could possibly put like Scientist Foo and stuff in your deck if you think you can go for game on that turn. But the main one that we all use is the last auto, which is at the start of your opponent's main phase, play 2 clone tokens with 10k power in your opponent's battle area. So that's how you generate your clone tokens. I actually have some custom made clone tokens that one of the guys at our locals has let me borrow. Shout out to the Final Form Freaks family as always. These are awesome. I can't wait to get like my own and stuff. I might actually ask them to do me a set. So please let us know, guys, if what like tokens you've been using. Have you just been using dice? What cards have you been using? This is a blue and green deck, so we'll go into it. We'll do the blue cards first, and then we'll go into the green cards, because there isn't that many green, but there is some. First card, 3 copies of Kai Insane Son Goku. I did have this at 4 and decided to have it at 3 because I kept seeing it, and you only need to see 1 or 2 because the deck actually draws quite a lot. You do see a lot of your pieces that you want to see. When you play this card, you get to look at the top 7 cards of your deck. You get to choose 1 blue Son Goku among them, and then add it to your hand and then shuffle your deck, which is really good. Searches are always good for the deck. The next one is our super combo. I'm using the Ginyu. I'm a big fan of Ginyu anyway, and when they brought this out as a super combo, I thought, yep, I'm going to have it in. You could use the Sparking one. Because you don't use any black, that's probably half decent as well, but I like this because you do get to 4 life, I would say fairly quick, because you kind of self-awaken yourself anyway with the leader's effect. So yeah, so this can become active quite early on. So 4 super combos, always a must-have. The next card is Supreme Technique Son Goku. Now this is the first time me actually using anything with like a rival. I'm still new to like using stuff with a rival and everything, even though we're getting more new rules for cards in the next set. Is a 4-cost, is a blocker, is a rival blue-green, and it costs 1 blue as well. Auto, you choose 2 clone tokens in your opponent's battle area and remove them from the game. When you play this card, your opponent chooses 1 card from their hand and places it in the drop, which is pretty good. It's kind of situated for using the effect, but it's, you know, it's an arrival. He's a 20k blocker, which is kind of nice, and it's, you know, it's a 4-cost Goku, which we'll get into in a minute. The next card is Son Goku, Path to the Infinite. You know, I used to use this card quite a lot as well with other decks. So, activate main, you pay 1 blue. If your leader card is blue, which it is, you also get to choose 1 blue battle card with an energy of 4 and return it to its owner hand, and then play this card. So you get to play the Supreme Technique Son Goku, play him through the arrival, and then pay 1 blue and then swap it with this guy. You could always swing with the Supreme Technique Son Goku, and then obviously you bring this guy out, and then we'll go into the next part of the chains after that. But yeah, really good card, really nice addition to like the Goku chains and stuff like that. So the next card we're going to go into is Ultra Instinct. Ultra Instinct, I would probably say, has seen more play now than it has for a long time, because his evolve effect when it comes in is really good, because, well, we'll go into it. He's an EX evolve for 2 blue. You have to place 1 card from your hand in the drop area, and then you get to EX it over a 5-cost or more Goku. So obviously you're using Son Goku Path to the Infinite for this target for the EX. It's a triple strike, which is really nice. Your opponent can't combo for the duration of this card's battle, so when he swings you can't combo against it, so you have to negate the attack. But the one thing that I like is auto, is when a card evolves into this card, you return all of your opponent's battle cards to their owner's hand, which is really nice. It also gets around barrier because it's not choose, it's returned all. So if you played against Bulma, for instance, and they've got, like, realistically, if they have about 5 or 6, that's all them blockers, that's returned back to the hand, which is kind of nice. And then this guy can swing. Your opponent will probably end up having to use the negate to negate the attack for this, but you don't have to worry about all them blockers and stuff, which is kind of nice. And, you know, it's added pressure on the board as well. You know, 35k triple strike is nothing to be snuffed at. Really, really nice card. I love it. I love the artwork for it. I do have the SPR, but I've put that back in my folder for the time being. The next card is one of my favorites, which is Ultimate Spirit Bomb Son Goku. This card has seen a lot more play now, especially, I would say, after EU finals in 2019 and stuff like that, and other finals. There was some guys in America that were using this as well, so a lot more people have seen it. It's just a great card. The only downside to this is if someone can pop and kill it. There's not many cards that can, but there is a few out there. Here's EX Evolve for 1 blue. You have to place 2 cards from your hand though in the drop, which is not an issue, seeming that you draw quite a lot in the deck. He's a double strike, which is nice. Your opponent can't activate counters against this card when it attacks. So if they're on 2 life and you've got this guy out, you're swinging, they can't negate it, this is going in for game. When this card attacks, you choose up to 5 battle cards in your energy area, and then you get to combo with them. So if you've waited till a turn 4 or turn 5 and your opponent's on, you know, 2 life, you got this guy in your hand and you can do the Goku chain, bring it out, and then just swing, and then just, yeah, I'll show you the combos that you can do with it anyway. But yeah, really, really good card, very, very strong, really good. I love it. It's one of my favorites, and you don't really see it that much played, but you do see more of it now, I would say. And you know, it's nice to see these old cards come back into the game. The next card I have is 2 of, which is Kaioken. This I thought was kind of situational. If someone like used time magic and I played against yellow and they, you know, stopped my UI, for instance, and put it in rest mode, then I couldn't really go into my Spirit Bomb chain. But the idea I had with this is that, well, I'll go into his effect, that this card was a bit of an answer out for it. So Kaioken Son Goku, this guy hasn't seen a lot of play for a long time, but I used him in quite a few decks. I think he's great. He's an EX. All you have to do is place one card from your hand in the drop area, and you get to put it over a 7-cost Goku. He's double strike. When a card evolves into this card, for the duration of the turn, you cannot lose the game and your opponent can't win. So how this works is when he does his activate main, is that you get to choose 2 cards in your life, add them to your hand, and then switch this card back to active mode. So if you had 4 life left, you could put this on top of the 7-drop, take 2 life and restand it, swing again, take 2 life, restand it. You can't lose the game usually, because most of the time if you went to 0 life, your opponent wins, but because of his auto effect, your opponent can't win, which is kind of cool. It also works as well if you try to go for game with let's say Spirit Bomb, and you played against Mil Nimba and you only had like 3 cards or 4 cards left in your deck, but you had loads of super combos in your hand and you had like other stuff. You could use all your super combos, get all them draws. Yeah, you've got no cards left, but your opponent still can't win because of this card's auto. So it's kind of funny. I think it's a really good card. It's good if you can keep your energy up, not your energy, sorry, your life, and be fairly defensive, and then you get this guy out. It's kind of funny. Really, really good card. And it's a 35k double strike. There's nothing to, to be snuffed at. We'll go into the green. So the green cards. The first one is this Vegeta card. This Vegeta card I think is really, really good. There's a lot of cards now that a lot of 1-drops that people play or come into play or negates. And when you play this card, you can choose all of your opponent's battle cards with an energy of 1 and KO them. There is quite a few 1-drops that don't have barrier. This is awesome, especially if your opponent's playing Borgus. This is a way out to get rid of Borgus, and maybe they have a free blocker or a 1-drop blocker, or they've used a negate and he's come into play. You could play this at the start of your turn. You've got rid of, the Borgus, and then you've got rid of the essentially the 5k combo piece that they had, or whatever they're using. Really, really good card. Nothing more you can say about that. Yeah, it doesn't get around barrier because obviously it's choose, but there is quite a few 1-drop targets out there without barrier, and I think this is great. Really good card. The next one is, I think, was a must-have for this leader. You can't really go wrong with them, and that is the Destined D Krillin. It's a free blocker essentially. If Android 18 is in your battle area or leader, you can play this card from your hand without paying its energy cost. What's really good about this card is that, how, I'll just show you, with the Android 21 scheme is that when you or your opponent play a non-token battle card, it can't attack for the duration of the turn. So what you ideally would like to do is play this first, so that's the first battle card that's been played, and obviously you've played this for free, you've not used any energy, so the next battle card that you have, or going into, or doing whatever chain you want, you can swing with it, which is fine. Really good with this. It's just getting around your Android 21 scheme's fine. But yeah, it's a 5k blocker, you can't really go wrong, and it's nice to see old cards come back again, like I said. Next one is the mischievous technique Gotenks. I like this card. Don't believe you see that many people using it with Android 18 decks. If it's your turn, you choose 1 Clo token in your opponent's battle area, remove it from the game. When you combo with this card, you draw a card. So it's a 5k, draw your card. So it's like having a mini super combo essentially. And yeah, I think it's really good. For having to just get rid of 1 token and getting this and getting an extra draw, I think is great. It's situational, but I think it's really good. You can use it for charge as well. The next one, a very old card, which is the combination attack Android 14. During your turn, when you combo with this card, if your leader card is an Android, your opponent chooses 1 of their battle cards and KOs it. So obviously it can't go around barrier, but with Android 18's effect where you reduce the cost of green and blue battle cards, you know, with their combo and stuff. I think this is really good. You know, you could swing with Android 18, use this combo. They have to choose a card. Ideally, when you do this, you want to use your clone tokens before, because if you use this, your opponent's just going to choose a clone token and pop it. So ideally, use all your clone tokens, do all your plays, then, you know, swing with your leader, combo with this, then they have to choose one of their cards. You know, they might have a blocker, they might have something that's on the board that's, you know, it's situational really. But it's the fact that they have to get rid of it, so, you know, it's really interesting card. I thought it was nice just to put 2 of. It's something a bit cheeky in there. The next card is probably no surprise. I think everyone put this in the deck. Infernal Villainy Cell. You're silly not to put this in the Android deck. It's basically a pseudo super combo, but when you use Android 18's ability, when you reduce the combo cost, it's basically a super combo. So 10k draw your card, which is awesome. Yeah, really good. There is times obviously when I've had this in my hand and I've ended up having to charge it as energy, which is sad times, but you know, it happens. But yeah, really good card. You can't go wrong with 10k draw card. We'll just get into the extra cards. There isn't actually that many extra cards in the deck. We're using Dimension Magic as our negate. We use a fair bit of blue, so it's really good. And you know, it's Dimension Magic, guys. It's a really good negate. Yeah, if people are using Borgus or anything that like untaps or anything like that, obviously you could get rid of them off the board before the effect happens. But then, you know, Dimension Magic's good, guys. It's really good. You know, 4 of. I was toying with only 3 at first, but 4 is definitely the sweet spot for it. Next, 4 Sensitive Beans. Must have blue leader. Sensitive Beans great. I'm really surprised that this card hasn't been on the limited or even on the ban list. This card is absolutely amazing. Obviously I don't want it to get banned, but I think with a lot of blue stuff and everything else that's coming out, you know, Sensu Bean is just ridiculous because you get to untap any 2 energy. If this was only blue energy, then obviously this would only work with specific blues, but we've got multicolored cards anyway out now, so. But Sensu Bean, yeah, for 1, you choose one of your cards, it gains 5k for the duration of turn, and then you choose 2 of your energy and switch them to active mode. It's a brilliant card, absolutely amazing. The last 2 cards is Mafuba. Situational really. I just thought, depending on what decks you play, maybe you haven't seen all the pieces that you wanted. Maybe you've played in, you know, someone that's been pseudo aggro and, you know, got you down to, you know, 4 life a lot quicker. And I thought that if there's a turn where you can't push or do anything and you have to be a bit more defensive, I thought Mafuba would be really good. It's still a good card to this day. Mafuba is basically a counter the battle card. You negate the attack and place this card on the attacking card at the end of your opponent's next turn. Place this card and only this card in the drop area as long as this card is stacked on top of the another card. That card is not treated as a battle card and it still cannot be negated. Really good card. It gets used a lot still anyway with Mafuba. So I hope you like the deck profile, guys. As always, please like, share and subscribe. We're still trying out a lot of new things with the channel and everything. We do actually have a new Facebook group, which is Final Form Freaks. If you go onto Facebook and just type in Final Form Freaks, you will more than likely see our logo that we have in the top right hand corner. And yeah, you can just go on there, you can check out what we've been up to, what events we're going to, you know, all the news and basically all the discussions, and also all the new content that we put up. So I hope you enjoyed the video, guys, and I'll see you again soon.